going on, Falcon fan? This is Warwick Kondo coming back at you with another video, and it's Victory Monday. Hey, we that. They say who that? We that. The Atlanta Falcons are got that win, much needed win. Lead the NFC South. But be honest with you, it was an ugly win, but win by any means necessary. That's was what I came out and said. The keys to victory was on Wednesday. We had to win this game, no matter what. Got it done, but it's a lot of stuff that we left out there, man. A lot of meat on the bone, per se. Looking at some things that happened, we got to play better. It's just no other way around it. We got to figure out how to get better. These last 6 games, yes, the Atlanta Falcons are the number 1 seed, but we go up to the Jets and lay an egg. The way we played on Sunday, I don't think it's gonna benefit us. So some of the things we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about the game overview, break down the game, what happened, what transpired, good away with that. Then we're going to talk about some issues that really, really showed up yesterday that I think could really hinder us the rest of the season. And then have we identified our play style, the play style that we probably need to utilize going forward on the offense end and defense end? I think it's some things that we definitely can look at on offense and defense end from what I saw from the game yesterday that I don't think they're gonna be able to really fix, this season. So how can they kind of cover it up, mask some of the issues they got? For the rest of the season to try to get into the playoffs. So we're going to talk about those 3 things today. And I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what's going on, EQ. Hey, we won, man. That's what we had to do. And that's what you said. You said like the kid gonna throw interception. He threw 2 yesterday. That's 14 turnovers, man. I don't know what to say. I mean, at this point, we just have to live with it, I guess. But we're going to talk about that. But guys, with that being said, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys out here that I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about. Yep, that's correct. These Atlanta Falcons. So let's get into the game overview real quick. Like I said, coming off the bye, both teams coming out the bye, it was an ugly game on both sides from the Aints perspective and the Atlanta Falcons perspective. But we came out and made more plays than they did, just enough to make more plays than they did. 4 turnovers, 2 from them, 2 from us. The turnovers that we got was huge. Of course, one the pick 6 from Jesse Bates, I thought changed the momentum of the game for the Atlanta Falcons because they was about to go in, at least put 3 on the board there. And then that punch out that he got, that was huge, right? That was after the second interception that Desmond Ridder threw. So both of those turnovers was huge from the standpoint from the Atlanta Falcons part. From the Falcons part, we had a chance to go up 21-21 there when we was running the ball so well. I think CP had started to get fired up. The running game was going good, and you just had to throw the ball. And that's one thing Desmond Ridder cannot do. He cannot throw an interception there. That was a terrible change of events. Going in to have 14-6, and we had a chance to go up 21 right there. We was right there. And perfect control, control of the clock going down. We was going to double up. We was going to score right there, then get the ball at the second half and try to score again. But we turned the ball over. You cannot do that. You gave it the Aints momentum there, and that's what you cannot do. We just cannot have that. That's really, really not a good play. You got to start to think like whatever you do, I'm not going to turn the ball over right here. That's what you got to tell yourself as a young player. I mean, it is what it is. Right, but looking at the game, they had 67 plays. We had 62. They had 444 yards. We had 396 yards. Their passing yards, 296 passing yards to our 168. They rushed the ball for 148 rushing yard, which in my opinion is too much. And we rushed the ball for 228. Third down, we was 50% from third down. And the time possession, it was 31 minutes for them, 28 minutes for us. So not as bad as bad. And then this was interesting, and I didn't even realize this, but it was only 3 points in the entire game, right? So obviously nobody stopped anybody in that game. From our standpoint to their standpoint, nobody stopped anybody. So you it was one of those games. It was you could tell it was a divisional game. Um, it got kind of testy a couple of times, which I like that, because it's just you let you know everybody really trying to get their thing in, trying to do good. What's going on? Yep, we had to get that love. We had to get it. Had to get it. What's up going on, Christy? Much love from the Dirty Birds. And this, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Bijan was looking good. CP was punishing exactly. Why would you throw the ball right there? I don't understand it, man. I have no idea why would you throw the ball right there. But you know, some things. Bijan had 19 touches in the game, which is I think that's the great number. I think 20 to 19, 15 to 20 touches a game is going to be huge for him. Drake got involved. He had 5 receptions for 91 yards. However, Kyle Pitts, once again, was not in the game like he should have been. And that's one of the things that we definitely need to figure out how to get Kyle Pitts more into the game plan. We're going to talk about that on my next thing when I talk about some of the issues. But we got to be able to get, you know, Kyle Pitts into the game. I actually thought that he came out with an intention to get his playmakers the ball. He really did. Bijan 19 touches is key. He got CP more involved in the game. Drake London was more involved in the game, but Kyle Pitts still not part of the game. And I'm gonna be honest with you, looking at the game, I think Kyle Pitts might not be involved as much going forward if it's going to be part of a winning formula. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. Why I feel that way about why I don't think Kyle Pitts might not be involved. You said the refs once again missed few. Oh my gosh, man! I swear I feel like the refs were cheating, man. I really do. I I really believe I felt like they was trying to cheat us, man. But it don't matter. We got it. We played against the Zebras and the Aints yesterday. We still won the game. But yeah, it was so many calls. Always call that blatant body slam on CP after it had got testy, and you would think they would try to keep the game kind of, real call it close then. But then they let the guy body slam CP right on the ground, right in front of the ref. He didn't say do anything. Like so, um, I felt like it was a face mask on one of the plays. It was a lot of calls, man. I mean, I don't. It seemed like the Falcons never get those calls, especially at home as well. It seemed like every time we play at home, it seemed like the other teams get as many calls as they got. So happy we won yesterday. Me too against Aints. Big win, big win, big win. What's going on, Carrie? He's got here. Carrie say, if you don't think KP will be involved, do you think he needs to leave after his rookie contract? I don't know. Like just men, I'm gonna talk about that because I really believe that the formula that they got um for that we utilized yesterday. And the reason I'm saying this, and we can get into it right now. The reason I'm saying this because I don't really trust Desmond Ritter to throw the ball a lot of times. I think Desmond Ritter throwing the ball less is the formula for the Atlanta Falcons win. That's just what I feel. And if they do that, it's going to limit, some reception from some guys and things like that. I think the formula is to run the ball, man. You got the 3-headed monsters. I think Arthur Smith is a better run caller, play caller. He dials up great run plays, and they able to once that offensive line get to going in the run game, they are hard to stop. And then you put that 3-headed monster back there, the way they utilized them yesterday. We seen CP run over like 3 guys to go get 8 yards on a third down. It was like 3rd and 8, and he went and got all 8 of them running over guys. That's the formula. And it was to a point yesterday when Desmond Ritter dropped back the pass, the crowd was anxious because they thought he was going to put it in harm's way again. And starting to get to this point where the more he passed, the more mistakes you might see. I want to believe in the kid, but 14 this season, 2 more yesterday, and critical situations, man. You cannot turn the ball over in the red zone when you had a chance to put points on the board. That's something you cannot do. And I blame a little that on Arthur Smith because the running game was going good. But what I'm saying is that if you run the ball more, because I really believe this is the key. This is the formula to winning with this team is to run the ball, utilizing your strength. The Atlanta Falcons' identity should be to run the rock and play out play action. It was what Arthur Smith was good at in Tennessee, right? That might be just what he's good at. He's good at having a heavy, play call sheet of running the rock and then playing off play action. And if we have to punt sometimes because we running the ball, I think we can live with that because turning the ball over, in critical situations is what's killing us. You cannot do that. Too many turnovers. And one thing about Desmond Ritter, in the fourth quarter, he always plays better. I mean, that was a great throw that he threw to Bijan Robinson. And if you look at the play, he was looking off and he came back to that. So he seen that right away, but he looked off and came back to it. And Bijan, great play on Demario Davis, but I don't believe that. I don't know if we can go out and try to throw the ball 30 times a game with Desmond Ritter because I just believe he's gonna put in a harm way, and that's not our strength. I don't think he is able right now. Not saying that he can ever do it. I don't know. Maybe eventually, but at this point in this season, for the Atlanta Falcons to get to the playoffs, I think they need to establish the run game. Heavy run. That's what I believe they need to do. I mean, if they do that, I think we have a chance. I mean, going up against the Jets got a great defensive front. They got a great defense. So it's gonna be hard to run the ball, but I still believe that's the formula we need to utilize against the New York Jets. They're going to be out the Desmond Ritter in the passing game. I don't want to hurry them up, but with our three-headed monsters, I think we can wear these guys down. I mean, we have the guys that can get it done. They all physical. They all got different run styles. And believe it or not, Parker Hesse coming back. And the way Michael Pruitt was blocking yesterday when they went 12 personnel a lot, I thought it really helped our run game. So that's why Kyle Pitts only played like 50% because because he put in the run packages, and you saw Kyle Pitts wasn't out there in those run packages, which everybody was wondering what Kyle Pitts was, and I agree he needs the ball, but if it's not the formula, you don't have the quarterback to give him the rock, like you can. Like, let's be honest. I mean, he broke that 1,000-yard record with Matty Ice, a veteran quarterback, somebody that is known how to pass the rock and get in the rock. I mean, and we didn't have we didn't have near as much talent that we had now than we had with Matt was here, and he was able to go over 1,000 yards because he had a quarterback that can get in the ball. I don't think we got that right now. So that's why I kind of feel bad for Kyle Pitts. It's a waste almost because you got that much talent, but you can't get in the rock because dropping back a lot 30 times a game is not the formula for the Atlanta Falcons. And I hope that Arthur Smith can kind of figure that out. Hope he's seeing it, the writing on the wall. It's all about winning the game, and that's what we did. That last drive that they had, to put that touchdown on, put that field goal for Koo. They hold the ball for 6 minutes, and it was all runs, man. Just straight domination. That's exactly what we needed. I loved it. That's icing, man. If we can do that, I mean, and they knew who was running it. They couldn't stop it, and we kept rotating. Bijan, CP, Tyler, right? Those guys started coming in and running over those second, getting to the second, getting to the second level on those linebackers and DBs. They don't want that. They don't want that smoke, and you can tell, especially towards the end of the game, and the offensive line get fired up. I mean, it kind of reminded me of last year when we played the Cleveland Browns. We ran the ball 14 straight times. That's what it looked like yesterday. It was really nice to see that, and you have to love Desmond Ridder adding to the running game as well. That was huge. Being able to utilize his legs. He's athletic. A lot of people don't really know that, but he is athletic and he utilizes his leg in the run game as well. So that's going to be, in my opinion, the factor, the key moving forward. Interested to see what you guys think about that. But in my opinion, that's the key. That's the answer, man. They need to make sure that they figure out how they're going to win these games, and that's the key. Just run the ball, man. 20 times passing game. You get to the run game, and then you kind of create. Because I see EQ saying Pitts was being double, right? If you get to the running game, get it where you want it to be. Now you create that 8 and 9 boxes where they're trying to start the run, and then you utilize that off the play action. That's where you can actually see, I think, Kyle Pitts to start opening up for him even more when you start doing that way. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I think you got to establish the run. I know I came in this season wanting to see more balance, but Desmond Ridder is just not there yet to be able to drop back that many times. He had some 300-yard games this season. We've seen that, right? But for him to be most effective, he need the run game. All young quarterbacks need the run game. They usually need their tight end, right? So I mean, if you get the running game, utilize your tight end. Maybe Kyle Pitts can get more, into the game. But right now, Arthur Smith need to figure out what he's doing. This play calling still sketchy in some point. Going forward on 4th and 2, didn't like the call there. Going on RPO, something definitely looked like the Saints had scouted, right? Because Desmond Ridder had scored on that play probably about 3 or 4 times this season. So that's one thing they knew. They knew that that's one of the plays that you got, that a scouted look that you got to see. So that's one of the things that Arthur Smith just got to be smarter there. I thought maybe should have just run the ball or kick the field goal right there. I know you was trying to be aggressive and put some points on the board, but maybe she just kick the field goal there, and and got it done. All right, players of the game, of course, on the offensive side, you're gonna Bijan, the way he did the ball, just dynamic. Thank you, Arthur Smith, getting the ball to your number 8th overall pick, Bijan Robinson, who is a problem. Still averaging over 5 yards a carry. Dynamic in the passing game, just great to utilize your body, your weapon there. Drake London, of course, almost had 100-yard game. Got to get more involved. Five catches, not enough in my opinion. Of course, Kyle Pitts only 2. So those are 2 things that we definitely got to work on offense. But Bijan Robinson definitely get the game ball on the offensive side. Of course, the player of the game overall is Jessie Bates, right? Those 2 plays that he made. Of course, the pick 6. Derek Carr claiming he wasn't supposed to do that. He made the wrong play. No, man, that's greatness, right? He baited you. He baited you into that throw because he knew what you think his assignment is. He baited you. He baited you all the way. And to be an 8-year pro, you need to recognize those things. That was a great play by Jessie Bates. I'm glad he took it to the house. I thought that changed the momentum in the game for us because that was after the 4th and 2 that we didn't get. Like they was going to go back down and put more points on the board. We was able to take the lead there 7-3. So that was huge by Jessie Bates. And then a sudden change on offense. Of course, Desmond Ridder throw another second pick, and Jessie Bates punch out that ball. That was huge. All those plays that you're looking at, from Jessie Bates was critical, timing. The timing of those plays was huge, and so he definitely, gets the player of the game, and that's why you go out and get a guy like Jesse Bates. That's why you go out and get a guy like Jesse Bates, who's definitely all pro, and he's worth every penny, man. He's worth every penny. That's 100%. You love the way Jesse Bates played yesterday, and that's why you go out and get him. So, kudos out to Terry Fontenot for making that signing. It was huge for us, and great. That's great. And he's still young, still got so much to grow. But Jesse Bates, helping out that secondary, that was huge play from our all pro safety. What he said? He says, Koo got hurt back. He can't kick long right now, so they went for it. Yeah, I mean, I understand the aggression. I just didn't like the play call. I think he said today it wasn't a good play call either. So, that was huge. That play call is not what we wanted to see. So, so let's get into some issues, man, that came up yesterday. Big issues. Specifically on the defensive side of the ball, and the one of the biggest issues where the Falcon probably had since I've been a Falcon fan, so probably 1998 when they went to the Super Bowl, when they had Chuck Smith and those guys, and then we had John Abraham, but Derek Carr had all day to throw the ball. No pass rush whatsoever. No pass rush, man. It's to the point where it's demoralizing, because if you let a quarterback sit back in the pocket and dissect the defense, they're going to find a guy. And that's what's happening to our defense. We cannot get pressure without sending blitzes. We can't. It's not happening. I mean, Armor Ebiketie got off when that was great. And when he did that, I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. That was great by what Armor Ebiketie did, but we cannot get pass rush. So that's one of our biggest issues that we have right now. No pass rush whatsoever. I don't know what they can do. How can they adjust? I think they kind of figured it out, man. You're going to have to play man on the back end. It's scary. I get it. You got to play more man on the back end, and you got to send pressure, right? You got to send blitzes. You got to send different blitzes. You got to send safety blitz. You got to send corner blitzes. That's how you have to send the linebackers. You got to generate pressure, because we're not getting pass rush that we need. And you can tell the Axel McGrady Jared. You really can. They ran for 148 yards yesterday. I feel like that was just too many yards. And I think, it's nothing we can do about it now. Grady is not there. But I mean, those are some of the things on defense that just really hurt us. Couple missed tackles again, still coming up. We can't be missing tackles. When we got guys in position to get them down to stop from having big plays, and those explosive plays is still coming up. Now, going man to man more, you probably going to give up more explosive plays, right? I get it, but if you can't, get the quarterback off his spot, you got to create pressure somehow, because it's the back end can only hold up for so long, and if you're not generating pressure, it's going to kill us. So that's one of the biggest issues, man. Derek Carr, I mean, I think I counted five alligators, like 5 Mississippis, like 4 or 5 times, man. He had all day to throw the ball, and you cannot let that happen. I mean, that's why they threw for so many yards. They threw for 296 yards passing on us, because they made explosive play after explosive play in the passing game, because Derek Carr had too much time. That's one of the things we got to fix. Now, we playing the New York Jets offensive line this week. Hopefully we get healthy on that. I think I think we might have a chance, but I hope people not sleeping on the New York Jets. I think EQ said it's here. New York Jets is like us, good team, but needs better quarterback play. They're a good team, man. Most of the time, you look at the games they played, they've been in all the games. The one loss that the Philadelphia Eagles have came from the New York Jets. So they're definitely gonna get out the um Desmond Ritter this weekend. Believe that. I do not mistaken, they're not, right? And Tim Boyle, we've seen him before when he's with the Lions. We've seen him before, so um don't think that we can't lose against Tim Boyle. Just letting you know for that game. I do my keys to victory on Wednesday, but I'm just letting you guys know. Don't sleep on the Jets. Right, it's a winnable game, definitely. If we play it the right way. But the Jets are a good team. I do agree with you. Um, but those issues on defense, man, we got to fix those. We have to. We definitely don't want the Jets, who's been struggling on offense all season long, to have a big day, right? We cannot just come out and let Tim Ball look like the other quarterbacks that we have played this season look, right. We had a rookie quarterback come out his first start ever and light us up, big play after big play, right? And Will Levis. We have a quarterback who haven't played all year. Kyler Murray come back, look like he was in mid-season form, right? Josh Dobbs looked like Michael Vick out there, man. I mean, just we cannot have these kind of things happen to our defense. Started off the season playing really well, have tapered off a whole lot, and that's something definitely we cannot see. So that's one of the things that's going to hurt us. That's one of the things that's going to hurt us. What's going on, Michael? What's going on? Appreciate it, man. So I'm telling you guys, we cannot generate that's one of the big issues I see. I was getting so frustrated yesterday in the stands, guys. And first of all, let's say shout out to our home crowd, man. It was crunk in there. I mean, that was a great atmosphere. Um, it was like a playoff game. It really was, man. We know we needed that game. It was huge. I was so pumped up yesterday. So shout out to the crowd. That was awesome. Um, you cannot just can't speak enough about how we showed up yesterday. It was live, man. And we helped those guys out. Believe me, man. Believe me. All right. You helped those guys out. All right. And shout out Jesse Bates for turning the game around, because it was getting quiet. We went for it on 4th and 2, didn't get it. They was driving the ball down, and then that pick six turned the game around for us. So but the crowd was live yesterday. Shot that out, but I don't know how many times, I was sitting there and just so upset about the pass rush, man. It's ridiculous. Like, if they don't do anything with all that money they got in cap space, they need to go get a fix the pass rush. That's what they got to do. I don't know how they gonna do it. Free agency, draft, whatever. You got to fix the pass rush. All right. We need other positions too. I get it. We might need to get a quarterback, but pass rush should be something. If it's not 1A, it definitely should be 1B. Right. They need to go out and get a pass rush. Wallace says, what's good, Ricondo? We got to have this game too. Don't let them get out there next week. Yeah, man. We can't afford to lose. I mean, I'm just being real. The Atlanta Falcons can't afford to drop any games. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Look at our next games. We got the Jets. We come back and we played. I think the Bucks, right? Play the Bucks, and we got the Panthers, and we have the Colts at home, right? Then we got to go to Chicago in the last game of the season. We play those Aints again. So we got to be able to roll off. All these games are winnable. None of these teams are lining up the scoreboard. They like heading in the wrong direction. So we don't want to help them out and get healthy and start to get confidence and things like that. Now you saw there was a change in Carolina today. Frank Wright was let go. You got to anticipate Carolina probably going to start playing a little bit better, just because that's what happens when the coach get fired, and then all of a sudden the players get some kind of, right, and they start to play better football for some reason, right? Because the coach is gone and things like that. I still think Bryce Young has potential. He's going to do good. I hate to say that because he's in our division, but he's not as bad as he's looked, this season. Um, but the Panthers is going to be a tough game in Carolina. That's going to be tough, right? The Bucks, that we played them tough. Even though I thought we looked like the better team on the field against the Bucks, they're going to come out. They're going to play us. That game is going to be hard fought. Gardner Minshew with the Colts, right? Justin Fields looking a little bit better. So all these games are going to be important. So the Falcons can't drop games, right? They can't drop games. But it's all about the Jets this week. We got to get this win with Jets. So great point about not letting up, try to get on a win streak here. That's what the Falcons need to do. Because if they don't get on a win streak, it's over anyway. So that's going to be huge for those guys. But the biggest issue I see on the defensive side of the ball is pass rush. That's where it is. Big plays. I know everybody keep talking about, some of our secondary players, like, they had Mike Hughes out there yesterday. I mean, it is what it is, man. We got who we got. We got, but they're gonna have to scheme around some of these guys. They got Trey Flowers in there yesterday, Mike Hughes, Richard Grant played better yesterday, but when I say man to man, I'm kind of nervous about Richie going man to man. I don't know about our linebackers, putting them in space. They great downhill guys coming in and making big plays, but going sideline to sideline and putting them in coverage. It's definitely going to be something interesting to watch as well. But only way that we're going to affect the quarterback, we got to do it by pressures. And we're gonna have to start calling blitz plays. You saw when they started to call those blitz, Derek Carr started to speed up his process, right? And he started throwing incomplete passes and things like that. That's really the only way we're gonna stop him, because when we was rushing 4, it wasn't happening. I thought about going zone, but if you're not getting pressure on the quarterback, he still have too much time to dissect and go through his reads. Man, he could go to his 3rd and 4th read, how much time he was getting. So that's one of the things we definitely got to fix. On the offensive side of the ball, it's still turnovers. Turnovers is killing us. He got to fix it, man. I understand he's a rookie. I understand rookie makes mistakes, but at some point, the coach is gonna have to help him out, right? So that's when Arthur Smith gonna have to come in, and where he's gonna have to, either call less pass plays for Desmond Ridder, or call the right plays at the right time, give him easy throws, right? When it's only is going to go to the receiver or is going out of bounds or something like that. I mean, it's just too many turnovers. That's one of the biggest issues on offense. And then sometimes the play calling is questionable. When we get the running game going, like going into the half, the running game was going. CP was on fire. He was running that rock, and then you call it pass play. I don't understand. Like some of the thing is questionable, right? Like you thinking too much. Just make the simple play, man. Like make the simple play call, right? They knew we was running the ball at the end of the game. They couldn't stop it, right? Let them know, hey, yes, this is what we're gonna do. This is who we are. That's what you did when you was in Tennessee. It's no different, man. Run the rock. Everybody here was getting the ball. You still ran it. What's the difference, man? You got a 3-headed monster. Let's make it happen. Just make the simple play. I think that'll help with the turnovers. You change the way you game. And the whole cliche is like the running game. A young quarterback best friend is the running game and his tight end. I don't know why Kyle Pitts can't get involved in the game. Everybody else tight end is balling, man. But our tight end just can't get in the game. Everybody go around the league and look at everybody tight end is always getting open, making catches and getting plays, and Kyle Pitts is never, in that category. So I don't understand why he can't scheme him open for some reason. And I don't want to hear people say that, he's a bust or whatever, because we seen it when he had a competent quarterback. We seen it, man. He almost broke the rookie record for tight ends in his first season. So we seen what he's capable of. I mean, go back to that Miami game that he had his rookie season against cornerbacks, right? Go back to that Jets game when we was in London when he had his first breakout game. Go back to what he did against San Francisco. Like, just go back and look at some of the plays Kyle Pitts made in his first season when Matty Ice was throwing the rock. So it's it's not him. I know he might not be 100% healthy, but it's something that Arthur Smith is not able to scheme him, and maybe just the quarterback can't get in the rock. I don't know. So, but it's not it's not what we seen. He said, "You notice Dave Ragone was moved up to the skybox." Yep, yep. I did see that. He mentioned that was a different change. Like I said, the offense, it was better. It still was questionable in some areas, but um I think so. He did make some changes. You're right. He brought one of the coaches down to be with the quarterbacks and Dez, and he took the offensive coordinator Dave Ragone up to see the field more. So that was great. Um, so that was a great change. We'll see how it's going to affect moving forward. Um, but it's still, in my opinion, a lot to be desired in that offense the way he's running it. It really is. And in my opinion, he needs to go out and get him an offensive coordinator. If he's going to be the head coach, he needs to go out and get him an offensive coordinator. So hear me out, because I think this could be a idea here. Um, the Commanders more than likely is going to let um Ron Rivera go, and you got Eric Bieniemy out there. Um, and if he's not kept by the Commanders, maybe they can bring Eric Bieniemy in to be the offensive coordinator, for Arthur Smith. If Arthur Smith stays the head coach, you know what I'm saying? Like, something we need to be able to see a change, right? We talk about we were so excited about these weapons that we had, in Atlanta here, um, coming into the season, but they're not being used. I think he got too many for his brain to try to figure out what to do with it. But um, maybe that's what he needs to do moving forward. But for this season, I just think he need to change the way he plays, way he play calls. He said if the reps ain't, oh boy, I hope those refs don't come to New York with us. Golly, man, those refs was terrible. It was bad. I think everybody can see it, but whatever they tried, it still didn't matter. We still got the W. And once again, they said, "Who that? Who that? We that." The Atlanta Falcons. We that. All right, we can't lose this momentum, guys. We got to get another win, though, right? That felt good yesterday to get back and win side, especially being those guys, right? And taking over first place. That was awesome. But we got to be able to take advantage of it. We really do. We really got to take advantage of it, right? Um, well, guys, overall, those issues I had, the biggest issue for me, too many yards on defense, 444 yards, won't win games. Shout out to defense for making them kick 5 field goals, right? But the Aints been having this issue all season anyway, not being able to get in the red zone. So we just, helped them out with that a little bit. Still the same issues. I don't know if you guys seen, when Ludacris was coming down from the ceiling there, and they showed a little clip, and they had James Winston is funny, man. He's probably one of the funniest guys in the league. But he out there rapping Ludacris, looking at Derek Carr, and like Derek Carr about like, dude, we about to lose. What you so excited about? So that I thought that was hilarious. If you haven't seen it, you can sit out there on X. But that's James Winston for you, man. That guy is funny. He's probably one of the funniest guys in the league. He's 30 for 30 himself. So I just, if you haven't seen it, see, can you find it out there? Let's see here. And then the last thing, guys, like I said, I kind of covered some of this already. But the style of play moving forward, and really, 100% what they need to do is just play like they played last year with Marcus Mariota. Run the ball. You be a run heavy team. Everybody know you want to run it. That's what you do. Um, you got to stop us. It's just the bottom line. Just let them know. And I'm going to say this: punts are good. Put it back in hand of your defense, man. Punts are good. So if you could run the rock, um, and pin them deep sometimes. Don't take chances that you don't need to take. You know, like I said, you just need to limit theirs where the dropbacks, man. Because he sometimes he just don't make the right plays. He just don't make the right plays. Um, I love his the way he's able to bounce back and what he's able to do in the fourth quarter. That tells you he has semi clutch gene in him. He always made plays and in the games. That's great. But man, if he just realized if you don't make those plays at the beginning of the game, those mistakes, we won't even be in the fourth quarter needing to have clutch plays, right? That's what he got to start to realize. We won't be in those issues. So that's one of the things that he need to start to thinking about, right? I mean, and then the coach need to talk to him. Look, man, we in the red zone. What we don't, I mean, if you might need to remind him, we don't need a turnover here. We got three. We got three. We don't need a turnover here. We got three. Keep saying in your head, we don't need a turnover. We got three. So at least three, right? Don't turn the ball over in the red zone, man. That's probably the fourth or fifth turnover he don't had in the red zone this season alone. So he has to be able to stop that. Stop that. So the style of play moving forward from a defensive standpoint, and I'm gonna say it again, you go more man, which is risky. I get it. Go more man. You got to mix it up a little bit because you're not gonna go, 100% man. But they played more man yesterday than they had played all season. So that's one of the things that they did do. They played more man yesterday, and it helped, especially in the second half, because they started to put more pressure on Derek Carr. So that's one of the things they probably have to switch up more man. To create pressure on the quarterbacks to make them, speed up, get them off their spots and speed up their processes. So maybe, that pass rush can start to get there a little bit more. That's one of the things we need to do from a defensive standpoint. We got to be able to be more stout in the run as well. Like I said, having Grady gone is huge for us. But I like the way David Armiyata been playing. I love the way our linebackers is coming up the field, making plays. I think 5 or 6 tackle for losses yesterday. So, they're playing the way they need to play, but I think they need to play more man. I think they did that yesterday as well. They played more man defense yesterday than they had played all season, if you look at the percentages. So that's a big key for them moving forward, style of play. All right. If you're looking at our schedule, we don't have that quarterback that can really take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have one of those quarterbacks on our rest of our schedule. Look at the rest of our schedule. We got a Tim Boyle. We got a young Bryce Young. We got Baker Mayfield, which Baker May can because he did it in Tampa, right? So you got to be worried about him and Evans on that. You got a Gardner Minshew. You got a Justin Fields, and we got Derek Carr again. So, moving forward, that might be the way. Whatever they need to do to create pressure, right? Give D'Angelo Malone a opportunity, right? We haven't seen him out there. He's one of the fastest, college guys coming off the edge, rushing the quarterback when he was in college. Maybe give him a chance. We don't know. We haven't seen anything that nobody else done. But Dupree keep getting to the quarterback and get him in the grasp, and they get out of his grasp, right? He did it again yesterday. Did it with Josh Dobbs. So Bud Dupree's not making it happen. Renzo Carter's not getting pressure that we needed. Armor Ebiketie got home yesterday, right? But we need somebody else. We need somebody else to and it creating the pressure, with the blitz, getting the linebackers upfield. That could be something huge for us. So that was some of the things we definitely need to look at. James said one game at a time. Of course. Of course. Yep. If we don't win on Sunday, man, we'll be right back where we started it. So I agree with you. One game at a time. That's 100% is true. One game at a time. So those are my defensive style play we need to move forward. And then for offensive style, like I said, more running, utilize that three-headed monster, Tyler, CP, and Bijan. I think they're fresh, man. They're fresh. They haven't been using them like running them in the ground. So going into the second half of the season, all three of those guys are fresh. We know CP is fresh going down the stretch. The last two seasons he was not fresh, right? Because he's been utilized a lot. But now CP is fresh. You can start utilizing him. Tyler Algier in that fourth quarter, man, he started pounding on that defense. Always good. And Bijan, man, he just almost like he's gonna break it every time. So utilize that three-headed monster. That needs to be the style of play moving forward. Play off the play action with that. That's the key. That's the key, especially with a young Desmond Ridder who it seemed like he's turnover prone, man. It is what it is. Less throws for him, more runs, and put him in advantageous throws where he can't make mistakes, right? When you get the defense coming downhill to try to stop the run and you throw over their heads. We also need to take more shots down the field. I don't know if we took any shots yesterday down the field. That needs to happen. You got guys like Van Jefferson. You got guys like Scotty Miller, who's fast, who's really fast. You need to be able to take the top off to take the top off, a couple of times. The pass to Bijan probably was the longest pass play that we had yesterday. So we need to see more of that. We really do. Those guys need different moves. Yeah, they do. They should have hired Chuck Smith, man. Somebody. Yep. They they need to hire somebody. He said receiver routes need to be better. Yep. That's when you get a they probably need a real receiver coach, man. That's probably what they need, right? Then they got a quarterback being their receiver coach or former quarterback, which you would think he would know, the depth on routes and things like that. But that's why you get those veteran guys in there, to teach these guys how to run routes and stuff. I agree with you on that as well. But some of those things we talking about probably can't be fixed until next season. So we're gonna have to figure it out. Passing coordinator, I agree. I don't know if James you was in here, and I suggested if the Commanders was to let Eric Bieniemy go, that's somewhere the Falcons could look, you know, you know, during off season. If Arthur Smith's going to stay the head coach, bring in Eric Bieniemy, to help, create offense around the talent that he has, man. I think they can really be dynamic in something like that. Arthur Smith is a stubborn guy. He's probably gonna, die on his sword, thinking he got all the answers. But if he want to improve this team, he need to get out of the way of his ego. You are the head coach. Let somebody else come in and start to call plays, man. That's probably the answer that needs to happen. But for this season, you just need to just keep it simple. Get a ball, that three-headed monster, play out play action. Yeah, Ron Rivera probably is going to get fired. But if he get fired, the thing I'm thinking, are they going to keep Eric Bieniemy on the team, or are they going to let him go as well? So that's the question. So we'll have to see. We already got our first coach fired, and he's the first coach to get fired after 11 games since like the 1960s. So best of luck to Frank Reich, man. Um, he just failed Bryce Young. He's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. He didn't do it for Bryce Young. So oh well. Um, those guys they got an uphill battle, man. They gave away their draft pick. So they don't have a first round draft pick this year. They got to figure out what they're gonna do with Brian Burns. Brian Burns, we'll take you. We'll take you. You come over to Atlanta. They're just right down to 85, man. Just come on home. Come to Atlanta. We got you. But um, Carolina got a lot of things to figure out. They got to find a coach. They got to figure out what they're gonna do with some of their free agents and somebody to fix Bryce Young, man. That's what they need to figure out, right? They gave up a lot of draft capital to go up, to move to get him. So at least for the next couple of seasons, he's going to be the man in Carolina to see can they turn his his career around. So the question is, did they make the wrong decision? Because CJ Stroud is playing like a man, playing like a man. 85 South, that's right, James. Right, come on down to 85, man. Yep. So guys, moving forward, one game at a time. We got to focus on the New York Jets coming up. People thinking it's an easy win. Go back and look how the Jets played against the Eagles. The Eagles got one loss on the season, and then they lost, and the team that beat them was the Jets. So just throwing that out there. So don't think that this is going to be an easy win for the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday. Right? That's why we got to play a clean game. Can't make mistakes, and we need to do what we do well. Right? It's a lot of tape on the Falcons. It's going into what this is the the 12th game coming up, right? So it's a lot of tape out there. A lot of tape on Desmond Ridder. A lot of tape on the Atlanta Falcons. We got to be able to make this thing happen, man. And like I'm telling you, that defense is really good in New York. So it's going to be one of those games. So guys, that's all I have today. We got that victory Monday. Feel good to come in and talk about the Falcons. It's gonna be feel good to talk about them when we talk about the keys to victory on Wednesday, and see, can we come back? Can we have 2 back-to-back, victory Mondays in a row? We haven't had that since the first 2 games of the season, right? So let's see, can we get back on track and get a winning streak going here? I think that will do wonders for us or for this fan base. Next thing I'm gonna say is the way the fans showed up yesterday, man. If they get a winner, if this Falcon team, with Terry Fontenot and Archie Smith and all those guys can create a winner, this would be one of the best fan bases in the league. We hungry, man. We hungry for a good team. Just give us a good team. We will support, I promise. Like the way we showed up yesterday, and I know it was the Aints, right? We hate them anyway. So we was going to show up and show out for against that team anyway. But if you put a winner out there, and we start to sustain wins and be something dominant, because we yearning for it, man. I'm telling you, Falcons, let's get a winner on the field, and you will have that home field advantage that you need. I'm telling you, if anybody out there from the Falcons listening, we want it. Just give it to us, and we will be there. Like, telling you, man, we hungry for it, man. Proud of everybody showed up. Let's come back out there again and show for the Bucks after we get this win on Sunday, right? That's what we need. And then keep it going. Can we get another victory Monday? That's all I have. This is your boy Rakundo coming back at you with another video. Peace.